All right, what is up, friends? Let's see here. All right, gonna move some stuff around. Like I said, this is just a test tonight. I'll chat for a little bit, but just want to see how things are rolling. If I'm looking all over the place, it's because I'm trying to make sure all this stuff's working. So just welcome. My name's Michael Martin. If you don't know me, I am not only streaming on Facebook, I've got YouTube going as well on my Michael D Trades page. And just if you're here, thanks for checking it out. Like I said, I don't know if you're here or not yet. I'm trying to sit here and figure this whole streaming, this multi-stream stuff out. So just bear with me as I dig through all this stuff and try to do everything on the right screen. So anyway, this will be interesting for sure. But let me see if I'm live over here. Okay, get to my channel. All right. Yep, we're live there. Let's see. Make sure my volume's down so I don't get anything crazy going here. All right, cool beans. So I know that we've got YouTube working. I hope there's not too much of a lag. Looks like Facebook's working. So definitely good to test this out before we try to do this tomorrow on a live. So anyway, and I wanted to have actually had to have it set up to do TikTok live as well, but that's just not going to work out today. I had to get another approval or something from them to go live on my account there. So here's the thing, guys. If you're on Facebook watching this, pretty much my handle for trading on everything is Michael D Trades. If you want to follow me on the YouTube, if you want to follow me on TikTok, or even I have a Twitter account as well, that Michael D Trades. Right now, I've just been posting the same kind of stuff on each. I've just been showing some trade executions and things like that. But what my goal is to do is try to streamline it to like one or two things. But right now, it's good just to get things going. And if you happen to swing by, please chat. Just say hey or something, because I'm trying to see how all this works. Like I said, I'm giving this a test run and checking this thing out. I'm trying out Streamlabs tonight. I'm looking at a few different services. I don't know if I'll stick with this one or not. But anyway, so welcome. So I just wanted to share a little bit what my goal is with this. And in all honesty, I've been trading since a long time. My wife, Chrissy, she doesn't let me talk about how long it's been that I've been trading. But when we had our twins, who are going to be turning 8 this month, I was still in the make money online space. I was still doing a lot of affiliate marketing, and right around that time is when one of the companies that we had done really well with went down, and then the next one we went down too, and that was just a really hard time. But just before that, I had thought about how can I leverage my income? How can I do something to have something else going on, so I didn't have all my eggs in one basket. And I had this buddy of mine named Brandon East who had been dabbling in Forex, and he'd been posting stuff on Facebook. And I was like, you know what, that trading stuff looks pretty interesting. And I've got that analytical personality in a lot of ways when it comes to being somewhat introverted and liking to just kind of dig into numbers and just figure things out. I like puzzles. So that's what helped me with doing lead generation and doing a lot of paid marketing stuff back in the day. So I went down that rabbit hole and got into Forex for a little bit, pulled one of my buddies who used to be into trading as well into it with me. And we spent a couple years actually working with some smaller developer type people who'd made bots for like trading, auto trading, and spent like 2.5 years, maybe about 2 years, playing with bots, trying to figure out if we could automate this thing. And that was in the gold, like the CFD market, the Forex market, and things like that. And in the process of doing that, we came to realize that, or I did, that the automation thing, it's great, it works for a little bit, but at some point it'll always kill your account. Like haven't found a bot yet that, if there was, they're not going to share it with you, right? So through that process, though, you learn a lot about the markets. You learn a lot about price action. You learn a lot about that, especially when you're trying to optimize things and trying to figure out how to make bots work. And if some of you are listening to me and this is kind of going over your head in that aspect, it's okay. So what I did is I just decided I spent some more time in gold, really just studied, figured things out, um, made some money, lost more, and that's just kind of how it went. So back around a year and a half ago, though, there was a lot of turmoil in the forex markets, and so I went into the futures markets. They always called it the gentleman's market. So that's the NAS. So for those of you that don't know how markets are, that's the futures market. It's usually like commodities. You've got like your gold. You've got your natural gas, your oil. You've got the indices, which are the indexes for like the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Dow. So you've got all those guys who have their futures markets, right? And if you want to know more about what futures markets are, you can just look them up. But they're really good for retail traders to really get in there and trade. So at the same time, I was studying some different strategies. I focus more like on smart money concepts, kind of like ICT based type stuff, if you know who that is. And so I've taken those strategies and kind of molded them with other stuff that I do. I don't always. I usually try to catch the very top of when it's going to reverse, or I try to really find the bottoms and stuff like that. But at the same time, I kind of momentum trade too. So if you watched any of my execution videos and you see where I kind of keep jumping in and jumping out, jumping in and jumping out, it's because I'm riding momentum. And so that's pretty much the skinny of it, right? So in that whole process, I did have a couple years, like between 2017, 2018 to about 2019, 2020, where I was focused more on real estate than trading. So it wasn't just trading all the time. So and still doing real estate now. Chrissy and I still are working real estate, and she's always done real estate. It seems like for the last, what, 7 years, or no, almost 10 years now. I think she started back in 15, 16, somewhere in there. Um, so yeah, so it's been a lot of ways to try to generate income from home. So if that's something that you're looking to do, my goal with doing the streams in the mornings, like on New York and in the New York session and things like that, is really just to share what I'm seeing in the markets, right? Looking at these bars and just wondering like, what do they mean, right? What is it trying to tell us, and what can we do to make some money off of it? Because it's not just about, you know, it's not just about buying low and selling high. There's a lot of ways that you can look at this thing, and some people don't like this kind of talk, but there's a lot of ways you can look at it from like an algorithmic standpoint, because we know the algorithms run everything now. And I believe that there's buying. There's people that are in two camps. Either they think it's algorithmic stuff is stupid and it's all buying and selling pressure, and then there's other people who are thinking that the buying and selling pressure is even not even a thing, and it's all algorithms. I think it's a combination of both. So what I'm going to do in the mornings is we're going to look at the calendar to start, the economic calendar, to kind of see, hey, what is our guide for the day? Like when is a lot of the volume and liquidity going to come into the market, and how should we watch it and react to it, right? So I can show you guys, like, let's look. This was Friday. If you look here, let's see here. Was this Friday? What's the date? No, I went way too far back. All right, I'm on the 15th. 7:30. 8:30. God, I went way far back. Sorry about that. I swung this thing like crazy. All right, so if we look here, this is kind of some of the stuff I'll look at. So this right here, this was your non-farm payroll. This was news, right? probably one of the bigger. You've got the biggies right now that are your non-farm payroll, your CPI, which is your inflation, and then you've got your FOMC, which is your interest rate decisions every month. All right. So this was our biggie, and typically, pretend none of this is here yet. And I say typically because it is pretty frequent. Let me find my arrows here. All right. Typically, when you have a NFP, 8:30 opens, it'll sweep liquidity, usually pretty hard, which is liquidity is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these lows. It'll come down, right? I'm already getting in the nitty gritty with you guys. I didn't plan on doing this. And then it will come down like this, take this liquidity over here, and then start to move up at the 9:30 open. So typically, you'll have your, I hate this thing sometimes. All right, so typically, you'll have your 8:30 move, which is your big fake move down. Then 9:30, when it opens, it usually slings it back up. But what do you see here? Because that's what I wanted to see. That's what I sent to Facebook earlier in the morning. And I actually had sent it not looking very close right here, okay? And I'll admit when I mess up, but look here. See how clean these highs are right here? I marked that as buy side liquidity. So what happened? It came up, swept these highs before everything happened, right? It did it early. And then what happened when that 8:30 news hit? Boom, it did what I expected it to do, but then it really ran lower, and there were more lows down here that it went after. You can see right here, I had some marked out right about here. So then it really ran down. So what did I do? At 9:30, I realized it wasn't going to do what I wanted it to do, right? I saw 8:30 come down. It took these lows, and then when 9:30 came in, it pushed up a little bit, and then it made another big drive down. Right? Shoom, straight down. Okay. So when I saw this move fail to go up, and I saw how deep it went below this, I knew, okay, we're going short. So that's when I got in short around here, right after the open, and wrote it down. And then I waited to see what it was going to do. And then we took this ride up during lunch. And that's the trade that I posted. Took this ride up during lunch. No, I didn't even post that. I think I posted the short. No, I recorded this one too. We wrote it up, took that, and then we actually caught this move down. So it was pretty easy ride when you understand like market structure, all kinds of stuff I'll talk about when I start getting into the morning streams and things like that. So like I said, I just wanted to share here kind of what we're going to be going over. And let's see here. Checking this chat. I don't see anybody commenting yet. I've seen viewers coming through. So I just wanted to, like I said, this is a test stream. So I just wanted to see if you are here and you can just say hey or say something. I'm trying to see where my chat shows up on this because I'm not using the YouTube or Facebook stream desktops. I'm actually using a separate one. So I just want to see if they work. So you can say hey, say shut up, say something. All right. So anyway, all right, as you can see, I was going to cover some of this tomorrow, but we can look at it now. So as you can see, the markets are already open. They opened at 6 p.m. So what am I going to look at? Because it's Sunday night, don't want to get into anything. I can see that this is just going to be, this is just chopping sideways for now. Asia opened up at, the markets opened at 6. Asia really got rolling at 8 and really didn't do a whole lot. So this is a 15-minute chart. So every bar is 15 minutes. And I can see right here that it's just been going pretty sideways. We've got about a 35 to a 960 to a 135. So, I mean, it's a decent range for Asia, but it's not something, I mean, a typical Asia range that's going to consolidate usually stays between 40 and 50 points. And that's when I don't want to touch it. I'm not really going to touch a an Asian session right now before Monday open. So let's look at our bigger charts. This is the daily. So every one of these candles is a full day, right? So this will be my guidebook for what we're doing. So this was this Friday's candle, that big one that went down after that NFP release. And for those of you that don't know what NFP is, it's non-farm payroll, and it's kind of what they judge what the markets, what the job numbers look like for the most part. How strong is our job? How strong are our jobs in the country? And it came out fairly strong. So why would a strong number drop the market? Strong numbers drop in the market because strong numbers mean that they're not going to lower interest rates. Okay, all the big banks scaled back their predictions for 2025. Bank of America says 0 cuts next year, or this year now. I think the other ones like Goldman Sachs and those went down to 1 or 2 cuts potentially in 2025. So markets don't like that. Markets need cheap money, and this is not going to give them cheap money. Okay, so we're dropping. So what do I see here on the daily? We structure shifted back here, total shift in structure. That's why we come up. We honor this big purple. My purple candles, just so you know, my purple ones are bearish. They're down candles. My blue ones are up candles. So you see here, we've been trending up, trending up, trending up, and then we come and we break this low, right? This low right here. We broke it down, and then we close below it. So what does this tell us? This tells us it's a marker that we could be going and shifting south, shifting down. Another marker that I'll talk more about that I like is this guy getting taken right here. Once we broke and closed below this, for me, that's a change in the state of delivery. Zoom in a little bit here so you can see it. All right. Oops, not that much. So what do I see here? I see that this is coming down. What's helping confirm this? Okay, it came back up, and that would freak people out. But what do we have? We have this big imbalance here. This big imbalance shows me that this big imbalance here shows me big selling pressure down. It shows big moves down, big force down, whatever you want to call it, whether you believe in selling and buying pressure, algorithmic. But here's what it wants to do. It wants to come back up and try to rebalance into this candle. And once this candle holds, what does it do? Sends it right back down. Okay? This is a sign that the market's shifting bearish. When did we start to see this? We started to see it back on December 18th. Okay? So at this point, we're looking for down moves. Look, you notice that these blue candles, when they come up, they still hold within these big purple candles and then keep pushing down. So until something shows me that we're going to go back up, like this high getting taken and then this high getting taken or anything like that, broken and closed above, then at this point, we're looking fairly bearish. Now, we are chopping pretty sideways as well, though, okay? So that's the daily, and that's a big barometer, but we don't trade this. We don't trade this daily chart. But this is just giving us a bias and a narrative telling us, hey, which way are we going? Which way should we be looking? And all that, all right? So if I look on the weekly, I should have started with the weekly. The weekly's a little messy, but it's the weekly's still holding as bullish for now. It's coming and testing this guy right here. All right. And we're kind of close below the midpoint of this down close candle, which should support price. If it's still going to be bullish, this guy's got to hold, right? If not, we'll take this low, and that will be a market structure shift on the weekly, which is a huge sign that this market is just going to tank, okay? But we haven't gotten there yet. It's showing signs of it, though. The way it's disrespecting the midpoint of this candle, I'm leaning bearish, okay? So then let's look. We looked at the daily. Let's look at the 4-hour. So right now, Make this bigger so you can see it. All right, check, make sure we're good. Go over here. All right. So we look here, we really took this low here, same one that was on the daily, boom, boom, boom. We kind of shifted back up, and see this is where you see, and it looks pretty sideways, but the 4 hour still is holding bearish, right? It broke a high here, came back up, it's actually looking after today. This was the after, let's see when this was, January 2nd, pushing up. Let's see, we're breaking this guy right here, right now. So we'll see how that plays out. That candle has a little ways to go. It's got a couple hours. If it breaks here, we'll just have to see how it plays out. That's why I don't like getting involved in Asia. If I do, it's got to be big moves happening. What we'll do is we'll wait till tomorrow morning, kind of see how things played out, see what happened during the London session, the overnight, and then go from there. But if we're building our bias right now, I'm leaning bearish. But of course the week's got to start, and let's put it outside here. The week's got to start and we get rolling. So what would I look at in the morning? I'll look through all that, and then I'll definitely come and check out the 15. The 15 is kind of like my barometer. The 15 kind of is truly what I trade off of. I use the 5 and the 1 and the 2 for my entries, the minute, 5, 1 minute, 2 minute, and use that for entries and things like that. So, but this is pretty much what we're looking at. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. Like I said, it's hard to judge anything right now. Mondays can be really good, or Mondays can just be really, really crummy. But we'll have to look at the news tomorrow and see what's happening. So, but anyway, so cool. Let's refresh this. All right, don't see anything happening there. Let me just go back and start looking at stuff again, making sure everything's good. All right, yeah, it's looking good. Any questions? Anything shaking? Every time I open up that live screen, it kind of goes crazy. Let's see what's over here on Facebook. Oh man, I didn't even see all the chats over here in Facebook. It didn't send them over. All right, well, I'm gonna have to keep that one open. Good to know. All right, let's see here. Oh, bendiciones. Ruth, good to see you. That's one of my friends from Bolivia. That's awesome. Dylan, all right, you're asking some questions here. Yeah, bearish trend. It's leaning that way. I mean, you've got to factor in the news and everything else that's happening right now. It doesn't look good for the market, for anybody who wants to be long at this point. The only thing that I'm watching too is this formation right here. It's looking, when I see something like this, I'm looking for it. It could easily pump and pop back up. And this is on the daily chart, so it could do a lot intraday, like where we trade. But like I said, I'm watching this low right here, because see, it's sweeping these equal lows right here. Now, if those hold, then we could see a big move push back up. It may come back up. If you're a trend line trader, you'd want to trade it back up to this trend line if that's what you do. You know, it's hard to tell right now. This week we have inflation numbers come out, expected to be hot, just so you know. But yeah, it's hard to tell right now. So, but I'm definitely trending bearish for sure. So good stuff. I hope I got to your question in time. But yeah, we've got yeah, that's crazy. These didn't show up. All right. Glad I tested it. I'll have to look over here to see comments on Facebook. Let's see. Well, let me go check YouTube real quick. Where is? All right. I hope things don't slow down too much. Yeah, I think YouTube's okay. I haven't seen anything from over there yet. Cool. Good stuff. Looks like it's moving now. So anyway. But so yeah, so I'm really getting into this too, into the live streaming thing. My whole goal, in all honesty, is not to be some big live streamer. That's not why I'm doing this. The biggest thing is that I noticed. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. Whenever I started posting the execution videos and annotating them, that means when I say annotating the videos, it means like as I'm in a trade, everything I'm typing in those trades, I'm literally coming like this and I'm typing as I go. It really slowed down my trading in a good way. It kept my finger off the mouse and stop making a lot of dumb decisions, and kind of took, because I can be a gunslinger when it comes to trading. Like here's the thing about what I'm going to share with you guys as I go through this thing. You're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. You'll see me lose, you'll see me win, and you'll probably see me go into some bad habits. But the whole goal of this is that when I have a level of accountability, because as I'm talking through my trades and things, and I have people in a chat window talking to me, and I have things going on, I feel it'll help keep me a little more in check. I may not be the gunslinger that I can become when I'm alone, because as I said in my post earlier today, trading can be a lonely thing, right? Trading can be one of those things where it's you against the world. You feel like you're all by yourself, and maybe this will help with that, right? I came from the restaurant industry as a kid and in my 20s, and then I went into the make money online space where we built big teams. We would have 100 plus people trainings every week that I would do. And then when we got to actually teach for the company, there were thousands of people watching at a time. So there was always a big community environment going on, right? In this, there is none, right? So I've spent the last couple of years like a hermit, studying, figuring this thing out, trying to make it work. And so that's what we're doing. Platform you'll typically see me trading on is Top Step X. They're a prop firm company. They have their own trading platform that's based on it's a TradingView platform. So if you've been in trading, I'm sure you know of TradingView. I'm sure you've seen a chart like this. So it's based on TradingView, but of course they have their own proprietary or white label stuff that they have and features and things like that. So you'll get to see all of it. So you just won't get to see execution videos where you see me win or you see me flip a loser into a winner. You'll see all of it. And I was not going to do executions on live. That was my goal. My initial reaction to doing this was going to be, all right, I'm just going to do pre-market analysis, call it a day, and then go and trade by myself. But the more I think about it, I think I can help people see both sides of trading. And in turn, it can help me hopefully be more accountable to what I'm doing. Some people think this is crazy. Some people think live streaming your trading can be crazy. And but I've been online for a long time. I took some breaks from Facebook. I've been in the marketing world. I've been doing stuff live and online. And one thing I've learned is if I want to grow in something and get better at something, the best way to do it is teaching people, right? Is being able to teach people let them learn from my experiences. And so that's my goal. That's my goal at this moment. So anyway, so I guess I will leave it there. We've had a few people rolling through. I haven't really had any other questions, I don't think. I'm glad to know that the Facebook chat is going to work, but it's going to work a little bit differently than I thought it was going to. I'm not sure how the YouTube side's been going, but I'll definitely have a lot more on my mind in the morning, because in the morning is when we get rocking and rolling. So I guess I'll leave it there unless I see any other questions pop up here in the next minute or so. I'll roll from there as we see this market really starting to dump now. I mean, from where we were at, yeah, another almost 50 points. And see, it's hard. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that if you're sitting in front of it, I mean, all I have to do is push that button and be in a trade, right there. Just push that button and be in a trade. But these are the kind of controls that I'm trying to have on myself, right? Don't have to be in a trade all the time. This is a 5-minute chart. So this is 5 minutes, this is 5 minutes, this is 5 minutes. So you can see it's moving pretty rapidly. So I'll show you the 1 minute. This is typically what I trade on, the 1 and the 2. You can see it's really humming. Because where did we open? We opened right about here. I'm going to go ahead and mark some of this up while we're here. Hang out with me while I mark some stuff up, because this is a key level. Wow. Weekly open price. I like that to be red. All right. You can see here, opened up here, flew down, right? So open there. Where did we close? We closed about right there at the end of the week last week. I'll expand this out further to the right in a little bit. So what is this for me? This is called, and this will stay on my chart for a while. This is the new week opening gap. You'll see price really like to come back to this and play around in it. It'll use it as support. It'll use it as resistance if it breaks through, or it'll use it as support if it breaks through. It'll really use it as resistance during the week if it comes back up. So you'll see me keep expanding this over, right? If we do decide to make a turn, say CPI for whatever comes in better than expected or something like that, I'll have a, and this thing wants to just start climbing because the rate cut chances go back up. This would be one of my big targets, weekly open price. But like I said, you just have to play it. You have to play what it gives you. All right. So you're going to notice that I will mark out levels and things as I go, and I'll say if it goes here, then we'll do this, or if it goes here, we'll do this. So it's a lot of if this then that type thinking when it comes to this. So what are some other key levels we can mark out? Well, for tomorrow, I really can't mark it out yet because I need midnight to happen, but we'd like to look at that Friday range, right? Which started, it's kind of hard to find here on the 1 minute. Let's bump it up. All right. And it started here, so this is a Friday high. I like to put bounce out there. And I like to put our Friday high. Okay. Key level now. As we skate away from this, this may not be a very valid thing, but here's what I'll look at too. Okay. So depending on where we end up, but we can just play with this one, right? Depending on where we end up at midnight, this could be lower by the time I get back to my chart in the morning, but this is 50% of the previous day's range, right? You can see we already came up to it Friday afternoon, in the afternoon, of this big range. But price does like to track back to this EQ at some point. But like I said, if we open up tomorrow and say before midnight tonight, we're down here, right? And this level, for me, then this level would come down to wherever that low is. So see, this 50% can end up in here somewhere and could be an easy high side target before it decides to come back down. So I'll explain all that in the morning. I'll have more data in the morning to really know what I'm looking at. But you can see here, we're really going after these lows. So, yep. So that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. We'll just see where the chips fall. But anyway, alrighty. Well, hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, this is going to be something. If you're on my Facebook and you don't want to know anything about trading, that's cool. I'll still be going live. If you're over on the YouTube side checking this out and just trying to figure out trading, or you want to learn more, you're just trying to get consistent with me, tune in. We'll go through it, and it'll be interesting. It will be very interesting this week because all bets are off on interest rate cuts really coming up this year. So the minute there is a hint, a whiff, just a scent that they may do cuts or more cuts, this market could swing right back up. So we just have to be ready for that. But anyway, alrighty. Well, this worked out. Now let's see how I can turn this thing off. So we'll see you on the next one.